CNN? Is that CNN? You even give us a chance to brush our hair or comb or nothing. You just jumped right in. One thing, though, I bet you're wondering, all you viewers, why is the Canoe using a DeWalt drill? That's probably the first thought that ever come to your mind. But I tell you what, the Canoe birch bark canoe builders, you know, DeWalt, they were thinking, I think when they designed this drill, they were thinking of Canoe. They were thinking of us doing this. Because if our ancestors had a DeWalt drill 100 years ago, guess what? They would use it. So that's why we're using it.
Yeah.
Just little bits of information for you. For all you educators wondering where all this technology comes from. Yeah, I like to joke around a little bit, but I'm part serious when I say that. It's always the idea that because we're Indian or we're Native or we're Canoe, that we're not entitled to using modern tools. They always said, and it used to be that way. When we first started spearing, regaining our spearing rights, I hear that a lot. Oh, you Indians, why don't you go back to your canoes and your spears? Remember that? Spears. Or your bone tools and all of that. They expect us to be out there with our loincloths. I don't know, I can do it.
To have you help us with this film. Could you state your name and just some basic information about you?
My name is Marvin Defoe, and I come from Musquabi Kong, which means red cliffs, up by Lake Superior. That's my home, that's my reservation where I live. I like what I'm seeing here. And the reason why I say that is because this is Canoe School. That's what we're doing here. Canoe School. You know, it's not in the classroom or it's not coming out of a book. We're living it. We're living this. So a lot of this is through experience. You got to do it. You got to actually do it. You got to know the materials. You can't teach it out of a book in a classroom. It ain't done that way. You have to experience it. You have to build it. You have to experience and know how that knife cuts against the bark. You can't teach it, you gotta do it. Even this is different. Even being interviewed is being different to how our ancestors taught knowledge. Even going to college is different from a book versus sitting down with an elder or giving a gift to somebody who knows something and have that face to face. You know, that's even different. Or are we coming to an age with our technology where if we want to know something, we just pull a videotape off of a shelf? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See? So there's a fine line there. And there's also a fine line with doing this. You know, there's certain things I won't use. This is all material. Everything, all the materials here is what our ancestors used over 1,000 years ago. Even the pitch. A lot of canoe builders use tar. I won't use that. We'll use pitch, spruce pitch. Yeah, all natural material.
Canoe welding.
This art, this right here, our ancestors are, in fact, 1,000 years ago, our ancestors, we did this. This technology is ancient. I made a birch bark canoe with a knife and a hatchet one time. I'll never probably do it again. It's a lot of work.
Are there many people who still practice this ancient art of making birch canoes?
Well, I think now there is. Every one of these guys right here. Wherever you find birch bark, the native people are going to make birch bark canoes. There's a line around the world. Around the world, there's a strip that goes all around the world that birch bark grows. All the people who live in that indigenous people who live in that area, in some form or another, has made birch bark canoes. Masters. What I mean by that is somebody who just go and make the canoe all by themselves. There's probably about 10. Probably about 10 in the whole world.
Bonjour, Vidabanukwe and Shinanakaz, Magizi Indu Dem, Metowin God, Indunjaba. My English name is Wanda McVagan. I come from the Magizi clan, and my community is the Sand Lake community of the St. Croix Reservation. Traditional education is very important. And I think that's what Marvin brought to us, was traditional education. Because now we have a group of men that know how to make birch bark canoes. And I think that's a skill that's going to stay with them in their heart the rest of their lives.
I feel like his style of teaching was hands-on. You know, that's the way I learned. I've read about it in books and seen it. Like it was nothing like hands-on experience. It was nothing like it. He taught us through stories, traditional stories, and just and taught us from everything from why we use different things.
Okay, who's going in?
Jimmy.
I went around to all of the guys and I shook all of their hands and I told them how proud I was of all of them for doing this, for bringing this tradition back and to keep it, for us here, because they're going to be our canoe makers now. When we did the first canoe, I had started talking about Sandy Lake and how I believed that it was to be the most honorable, significant thing that we could do is to take that one canoe across Sandy Lake. But then the guys completely shocked me and made a second canoe. So I was very pleased to see that second canoe. In the fall of 1850, the United States government tried to use trickery on our people. They wanted to relocate our people from Wisconsin and Michigan over to Minnesota so that they could reap the benefits of our annuity payments. So they tricked us into going over there. We used to get our annuity payments on Madeline Island. But one of the governors said that, no, we're not going to get our payments there. We got to go to Sandy Lake and get our payment. So in the fall of 1850, our people started heading north towards Sandy Lake. And back then, we didn't have cars. We didn't have luxuries like we have today. Our people walked or canoed. That was our main transportation was the birch bark canoe. That was our gift from the Creator, the birch bark. So our people started heading to Sandy Lake. You know, they didn't have much when they set out to go to Sandy Lake. And by the time they got there, they didn't have nothing. But they were waiting and waiting for the payment and the food and everything else, and the government didn't give it all to us the way that they were supposed to. So a lot of our people died over there in Sandy Lake. They died of hunger. They died of being exposed to the elements, the freezing cold. They died of diseases because they couldn't fight off anything. They didn't have any nourishment, no blankets, nothing. So they couldn't fight off the elements, so they got sick and died. What impresses me is that those old ones felt so strong in their heart to come home that they started walking home here in December. And a lot of them died along the way to come back home. But they brought us back home here. Our people are here today because those chiefs and those ancestors brought us back here. It was very emotional. What the United States government tried to do to us, that hurt. And it just, it hurt my heart. I just kind of thought, how could they do that to us? How could they? How could they hurt us like that? Tell him I blame him for the children we have lost.
Our tribe sent us up there with the birch bark canoes, and it was an honor to be able to paddle them across.
I was very honored, very proud to be out there on that lake. They said that birch bark canoe hasn't been on that lake in several years.
That, you know, that signifies a lot. I mean, there, you know, the spirits of the lake, spirits along the side there where many of the Native American had passed away because of what had happened. What we did was really, really significant. I know it was.
Here comes our second canoe. Oh, Creator, you have blessed us today. Yay!